Addressing Canada's housing affordability crisis. The imperative of regulating short-term rentals. Housing affordability remains a pressing issue in Canada, particularly in its major cities. The rising cost of housing, coupled with soaring rents, has made it increasingly challenging for residents to secure stable and affordable housing. While there may be no silver bullet solutions to this complex problem, Max Fawcett, in his article published in the National Observer on September 11, 2023, argues that there is a critical step that can be taken: regulating short-term rental services, such as Airbnb and Vrbo. In this extended analysis, we delve deeper into the key points made in the article, emphasizing the potential benefits of stricter regulations on short-term rentals and exploring the implications for Canada's housing market. The housing affordability crisis. The article opens by shedding light on the pressing issue of housing affordability in Canada. Fawcett aptly highlights that soaring rents and housing costs have created an environment where securing stable and affordable housing has become a formidable challenge for many Canadians. This sets the stage for an exploration of how short-term rentals have contributed to this affordability crisis. The impact of short-term rentals on housing. Fawcett meticulously outlines how short-term rental platforms like Airbnb and Vrbo have played a significant role in exacerbating the housing affordability problem. Reduced supply of long-term rentals. Short-term rentals have emerged as a lucrative option for homeowners, attracting them away from the traditional long-term rental model. This migration of properties from long-term to short-term rental availability results in a reduced supply of long-term rental units. With fewer options available for long-term renters, demand intensifies, driving up rental prices. Influence on investment properties. The allure of rising regular rental prices has piqued the interest of real estate investors. These investors seek to capitalize on the profit potential offered by the rental market. As their interest in investment properties grows, they compete to acquire these properties, driving up their prices. This increase in property prices serves as a significant barrier for first-time homebuyers, who find it increasingly challenging to enter the market. Impact on family residences. The escalating prices of investment properties do not exist in isolation. They can also spill over into the family residence market, affecting individuals and families looking to purchase homes for personal use. These potential homebuyers face higher costs and increased competition in the housing market, further limiting their ability to secure affordable housing. Fawcett's use of concrete examples underscores the tangible consequences of this dynamic. In cities with thriving short-term rental markets, homeowners may opt for lucrative Airbnb listings over traditional long-term rentals. The resulting reduction in long-term rental supply drives up demand and subsequently rental prices. Simultaneously, real estate investors, attracted by the prospect of higher rents, enter the market, bidding up property prices, which creates barriers for first-time homebuyers. Stricter regulations as a solution. The article puts forth the idea that implementing stricter regulations, akin to those recently introduced in New York City, offers a potential solution to the challenges posed by short-term rentals. New York City regulations. New York City has introduced regulations that require hosts to register their short-term rentals. These regulations include a minimum rental period of 30 days, even for property owners or occupants. Additional provisions mandate host presence, guest limits, and unlocked doors within the dwelling. These rules emphasize the necessity to maintain a common household with guests. Effect of new regulations. These regulations significantly limit the profitability of short-term rentals, as most hosts are unwilling to share a household with strangers. As a result, New York's regulations are anticipated to curtail thousands of illegal short-term rentals, returning them to the long-term rental market. The article counters arguments from short-term rental platforms and their representatives, underscoring the correlation between short-term rentals and rising rents. It also highlights the critical concept that taking housing units out of the long-term rental market results in price increases. Federal government involvement. Fawcett calls on the federal government to take action in addressing housing affordability. Federal government's role. Fawcett contends that the federal government should support municipal governments in passing regulations that prioritize residents over tourists. This support should come in the form of both incentives and enforcement measures. While acknowledging that the tourism industry may be affected, the article argues that such actions would significantly alleviate housing affordability challenges faced by residents. Political conflict of interest. The article raises concerns about the shared conflict of interest among politicians who own multiple properties or generate income from real estate. Such conflicts could hinder clear decision-making regarding housing regulations, potentially delaying necessary action. The New York City example. The article cites New York City as an example of successful regulations that have curtailed short-term rentals while benefiting renters. By introducing regulations that effectively limit the profitability of short-term rentals and prioritize long-term housing availability, New York City has set a precedent for other municipalities grappling with similar housing affordability issues. Max Fawcett's article underscores the urgency of addressing Canada's housing affordability crisis. Stricter regulations on short-term rentals are presented as a viable solution to rebalance the housing market. These regulations aim to increase the availability of long-term rental units, thereby alleviating the upward pressure on rents. The article calls on the federal government to play a supportive role in implementing such regulations and highlights the importance of prioritizing the needs of residents over tourism interests. Additionally, it brings attention to the potential conflicts of interest among politicians and their ties to real estate, emphasizing the need for unbiased decision-making in the realm of housing policy. The New York City example provides hope and guidance for other Canadian cities facing similar challenges. In taking these steps, Canada can move closer to resolving its housing affordability crisis and ensure that adequate, affordable housing is accessible to all its residents, ultimately fostering a more equitable and sustainable housing market. What do you think? Should Canadian governments at local, provincial and federal levels ban or very strongly regulate short-term rentals and platforms such as Airbnb and Vrbo in order to help control skyrocketing housing prices in Canada? Please join in on the conversation by leaving a comment. If you found this video and information useful, please smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so we can keep providing you with timely information you can apply on a daily basis.